Hello, I'm going to show you how to model a simple character like this, do the rigging, and create a walk cycle animation using the CMotion tool in Cinema 4D. This might not be suitable for complete beginners. If you know a little bit about Cinema 4D, you can follow along. So let's get started. I am here in a new empty project. Switch to the front view and drag the reference image here. You can get this file from the link in the description. Now open the view settings in the attribute manager by pressing Shift+V. Increase the transparency according to your liking. I'll add a cube, adjust its size, and put this under a subdivision surface generator. I'll adjust the size of it a bit more. Also, I'm going to turn off the grid and horizon to get rid of some extra distractions. I'll tweak the size of this cube a bit more and increase the number of subdivision surface to 3 to make it extra smooth. I'll rename this to base and create a copy of it for backup. Put that copy under a null and rename this null object to backup and turn off its visibility. Make this subdivision editable by pressing C and again rename it to base. I'll now model the armor part. You can keep working with this lower poly count. It would be better for game-ready models, but I want extra subdivisions. So I'll duplicate this, put this under a subdivision surface again, and just set it to 1. Make it editable and rename it to armor. Go to the face edit mode and select all these faces using the loop select tool and the fill tool. Just try to get the basic shape of your armor and select faces accordingly. When all the faces are selected, right-click in the viewport and select Split option. I'll delete the older one and keep this new geometry. Add some thickness using the thicken generator. Change the position setting to 100% so that it adds thickness only towards the outside, and set the thickness value to 4. I'll unhide the base object and take a good look. Select the body armor and scale it a bit so that the surfaces don't exactly overlap and occupy the same space. I'll fix this bottom part now and make it straight. So just turn off the thicken generator, go to edit mode, select the bottom edge loop, scale it in Y-axis while holding down Shift and snap it to 0. I'll also scale it outwards a bit. Select these edges and straighten them a bit. And then grab all these together and smooth them out. Now, let's model the pant. Select the base object and go to the face edit mode. Select this loop and split it out. With this new object selected, go to the edge mode and select this bottom loop. Scale it down to 0 in the Y-axis. Adjust its scale a bit and extrude it out. Select the top faces and delete them. Now I'll just select this loop and smooth it out. The process is very simple here. I'll get the bridge tool, select these middle edges and bridge them. Select these edge loops, right-click in viewport, get the fit circle tool, and just make them a bit circular. I'll adjust the settings here. Extrude it again and just follow along. Adjust the settings and extrude it again. I'll use the fit circle tool again to make it more circular. Now we got this pointy mesh here. To fix it, go to the point edit mode and move this point. It's looking good. So I'll put this under a subdivision surface generator. Fix these inner edges before moving forward. I'll rename this, make a copy of it, and put it inside the backup null. Select these edges and extrude them in. Add loop cuts for defined corners. Hide everything else except the pant and follow along. Here, I'm selecting these edges and adjusting them while turning on the soft selection option. Just trying to fix the mesh to make it look a bit better. You can take all your time, but this is enough. Now make it editable. The pant is done. Let's model other parts of the legs. I'll use the capsule to model the thighs. Put this object under the symmetry generator to mirror it in the x-axis. Delete the top faces, select this edge loop, and move it up. You can see that the pant is not looking identical on both the sides. To fix it, I'll delete the one half of the pant and use symmetry to mirror it on the other side. Also, make sure to turn on weld option and set the tolerance to 1. Make it editable. Take a good look before moving forward. Add few loop cuts for better topology. Add a subdivision generator and reduce the amount to 1. Leg's gonna be bending more while animating, so better to have extra polygons here. Make sure to rename everything properly. Now, let's model the boots. For this, I'm going to use the cylinder object, lower the height segments to 1, and the rotation segments to 6. Move it in the right place and adjust its size. Also, turn off the caps. Switch to the front view. Make it editable. Grab the bottom edge loop and move it down. Add a loop cut here. Select these front faces and extrude them out. Add a loop cut here. Get the polygon pen tool and join these points. Get the subdivision generator. Select all the faces and scale it up a bit. Add some more loop cuts to define the shape. Select this edge loop and extrude it inwards. Add loop cuts. Select all of these top edges and scale them up. Select this edge and move it up. Now it's looking much better. Rename it. Take a copy of this and put this inside the backup null. Make it editable. Put this object under symmetry generator and mirror it on the other side. Make sure to name everything properly. The legs are done. Now let's model the arms. I'm going to use the capsule object for this. Move it in the right place. Change its radius and height accordingly. Increase the cap segments. Duplicate this object for the middle part of the arm. Make them editable and give them proper names. Create a cylinder object for the hand. Adjust the size. Turn off the caps. Make this editable. Close the polygon hole on this side and change the type to grid. Now just follow along. Select and extrude this face. I'll move points and edges a bit to define the shape. Extrude this edge loop inwards like this. Add a supporting loop cut here. Rename it and make it editable. One side is done. Now you just mirror on the other side too using the symmetry generator. And the arms are finished. It's time to model the head. Add a sphere, adjust its size, and lower the polygon count. Put this under a subdivision surface and make it editable. Add an inset here, move it down, add a loop cut here, and adjust it for the neck. Let's model the helmet. Delete this bottom part. Select this edge loop and extrude it down. Doing some minor tweaks here. Add a loop cut here for even topology. Select these points and move them up to get more interesting shape. Increase the subdivisions for smoother look. Make it editable. Select all these faces and delete them. Add a thicken generator to it. And adjust the settings. Make everything editable. Select all the objects and move them up so that the bottom of the boots are exactly at the origin. The modeling part is done here. Next, we will do the rigging. You can continue with this model if you want, or download the finished, well-organized model that I provided. So this is the model that I am going to use. This model is well organized and also has decent UVs. So let's get started with rigging. Go to the character menu and create a joint. Move this up here near the pelvis. Rename it to pelvis. Go to the character menu again and get the joint tool. Make sure the root null option is unchecked and the pelvis joint is selected. Create another joint here by left-clicking while holding down the control key. Create few more joints. One for the knee, one for the ankle, and the foot joint. Move this knee joint slightly forward. It's going to help in bending the knee properly while doing the IK. Make sure to name all the joints properly. Select the pelvis joint and create some joints here for the torso, neck, and the head. Also, rename all these joints too. Select the torso joint and create a joint here for the shoulder, one for the elbow, one for the wrist, and the hand joint. Also, move this elbow joint back a little. We're not going to do the IK for the arm, but it's a good practice. Rename all the new joints. Middle mouse click on the pelvis joint to select it along with all the children and freeze their coordinates. This will reset their transform to 0. Now it's time to create IK inverse kinematics for the leg. Right-click on the thigh joint and create an IK tag. This IK requires an end joint, so I'll drag this ankle joint here. Now we need a goal. You can just click on this goal button to create it. But I'm going to set up my own controllers. Add a cube here and scale it down. You can hide the mesh for better visibility. Make this cube editable. Select all the edges, press Shift+C, search for the edge to spline command, and hit enter. Now we have a spline object here. Turn on snapping. Open the settings and make sure axis snapping is checked. Move this spline object and snap it exactly at the ankle joint. And then turn off the snapping. So this is our custom controller that's going to act as goal for the IK. Go to the point edit mode and adjust its shape. Rename this to left leg controller. Also, freeze its coordinates. Change its viewport display color to something you like for better visibility. Select the IK tag and drag this controller in the goal area. Then click on this Add Pole button to add a pole. This pole acts as a target for the knee joint. Move it forward and slightly up like this. You can also change its display shape. I'll change the color too. Now, you can move the controller and see that the IK is working fine. But when you move and undo, you might see something is not right. This foot joint is slightly misplaced. To fix it, go to the IK tag again and change the pole vector from auto to X. This will fix the issue. Now it's good. Now I want the foot to also rotate with the controller. Right-click on the ankle joint and add a constraint tag to it. Check Transform and go to the Transform tab. Now go to Offset and check Maintain Original option. That's very important. And drag the leg controller into this target field. Now you test and see that we can also rotate the foot using our controller. Let's add a controller for the pelvis. Create a circle spline for that. Turn on snapping and snap it to the pelvis joint. Make it editable. Go to point edit mode, select all the points, and move it up to a better position. Change its display color. Rename it. Add a constraint tag on this pelvis joint. Enable transform, check maintain original, and drag the pelvis controller into the target field. Pelvis controller is done. Now we will set up controllers for the arm. Create a circle spline, move it in the right place, and also snap it to the shoulder joint. Make it editable and rename it. Select all the points in edit mode and move to a better position. Now, repeat the same steps for the elbow and wrist joints. Set up constraints on the respective joints. Also, freeze all their transforms. Now when you test, you can see that you can move the wrist controller, but not the parent joints. To fix it, you need to put the wrist controller as a child of the elbow controller, and the elbow as a child of the shoulder controller. Let's do that. Now it's working fine. Create a controller for the head. I'm going to use the cube. You also follow along. Make sure it is snapped to the neck joint. Select all the points in edit mode and move them up. Change its display color too. Set up constraint tag on the neck joint. This is working good. Now I'll mirror all the joints and controllers on the other side as well, and it's going to be super easy and quick. Let's start with the leg. Select all these joints. Go to the character menu and select the mirror tool. Make sure the axis is set to X. Go to the naming tab. Here, you will find these empty fields. In the replace field, type L underscore. In the width field, type R underscore. This will take care of the naming of our new joints. Go to the Tool tab and just click this mirror button. You can see that the mirror tool has created all these joints and controllers with proper IK rig. It also took care of the naming of everything. Let's mirror the arm joints and controllers. You can see it's working, but it looks like the wrist joint is slightly messed up. It happened because of the constraint tags. So to fix this issue, we have to delete those tags and add those again one by one. Now it's good. Select all these three controllers and put them as children of the pelvis controller. Let's create a root controller that controls the entire rig. Rename it and put every other controller as the children of it. Now we can move the entire rig with this setup. I will also change the icon colors for these controllers. You don't have to do this. Let's bind all the joints to our mesh. Select all the leg joints. While holding Control, select all the mesh objects that belong to the legs. Select the pant and the pant belt as well. Also, make sure to select the pelvis joint as well. Go to the character menu and click on the bind option. You can see it's working fine. Select the torso joint. While holding down Control, select all the torso parts. Bind them together. Check if everything's working. Let's bind the arms. I want to control the different parts of the arms to be controlled by individual joints. Select the left shoulder joint, right shoulder joint, left arm upper, right arm upper, and bind them. Select the left elbow joint, right elbow joint, the lower arms, and the lower arms rings. Bind them together. Do the same for the wrist joints. It's working, but something's not right for me. Some parts are not moving. It's because I got double weight tags here. So if I delete this one, it should fix the issue. Select the neck joint and all the mesh parts related to the head. Bind them. Now we have the full rigged character ready to be animated. You can now animate the character however you like, with different poses and keyframes. But I am going to show you the use of the CMotion tool and animate the character without any keyframes. CMotion is very good for creating looping animations like walk cycle, run cycle, etc. Here you can see different settings to play with. The walk mode is set to static, which means it's not going to move anywhere, it will just stay in place. You can also set the time frame for one loop or cycle. By default, it is set to 30 frames, and my timeline is also 30 frames right now. Here we will drag all the components that we want to animate. So first drag this main controller here, and now we will drag all the other components that we want to animate as children. Let's drag this left leg controller and put this as a child of the main controller here. Immediately you can notice that the leg is moving back and forth. So what's happening? Click on this leg controller. Down here you can see the driver option. It is set to steps by default. That's why the leg is moving that way. If you set it to none, it won't do anything. But for the legs, we want that kind of motion. Here you can play with the phase. I will set it to 100% for this. This leg is just sliding back and forth. It is not lifting up in air. Let's fix that. Click on this controller. Up here, you can see the actions. By default, it is set to lift. PY means position in Y axis. So just click on Add button to add it, click on this action, and scroll down. Now you can see that the leg is lifting up. This graph here is shaping the animation. So just play with this graph until you think it's looking better. I think it's good enough. If you want, you can change the lift amount here. 10 is looking good for this. Select the controller and add another action. I want some rotation in the foot, so select the pitch option and add it. It's not doing anything by default. The pitch angle is 0. Set this to some higher value, and when you modify the graph, you can see the results. Make the graph look something like this. I'll add the twist action now. I want the feet to be in a V shape by adding a small rotation. Delete this middle point in the graph to make it flat, and lower the angle value to 6. You can do whatever you like. Now drag the right leg controller as a child of the main controller here. We don't have to repeat all those previous steps. Instead, add a reference action. And add a reference to the left leg's lift action. Add another reference and set it to left leg's pitch action. Add the twist action just like we did it for the left leg. put -6 for this leg. Now you can see they are moving together, which is exactly how you should walk. But if you don't like that walk, you can fix it by changing the phase value. Change the phase amount of the right leg to -50%, and it will fix the walk. Now it's much better. You can also change this stride value. This is basically the walk length. Smaller value will result in smaller footsteps. I'll just set it to 75 centimeters. Let's work on the arms now, but before that, I will just put the arms in a good pose for the walk animation. This is a good pose to animate. Now drag the left shoulder controller as a child of the mane. This arm is misplaced. To fix it, set the driver mode to none. Let's add this twist action to the shoulder. Hit play and you can see it moving. So let's change some values and play with the graph. Set the points type to ease. You can adjust this graph as much as you want. Now let's add some animation on this elbow to make it look slightly better. Drag it here. Set the driver mode to none. Add the twist action. No need to change anything, default settings are good. You can see that this arm movement is much better now. Drag the right shoulder control here. Add the reference action and set it to the left shoulder's twist action. Do the same for the right elbow as well. The arms are done. Let's add some motion to the pelvis controller. So drag it down here. Set the driver to none. Add the roll action. Set the graph to something like this. Let's add some animation to the head. Add the roll action. Just change this roll amount. So we are done with everything here. You can take more time and make this even better. Also, if you change this walk mode from static to line, you can make it move forward. You can also set this mode to path, and you can draw your custom spline path and feed it. The character is moving along this path. And while you're in the path mode, you can create custom terrain and make the character walk on its surface. Go to the Route tab and drag your custom terrain here. You can see it's walking on the surface. You might need to change the offset if the character's feet sinking too much. So that's all for now. I hope you liked this video. If you're watching this on Patreon, thank you for your support to my channel. Please leave your feedback. And if you're watching this on YouTube, like this video and subscribe for more interesting contents like this. You can download all the project files from the link in the description. If you want to support the channel, you can become a member on my Patreon. See ya!